you are underclassmen, but as much as you want to be involved next year, we would love you to do that. It's kind of letting at the teeth to get some kids out to do that.
Right.
We don't really have any other events planned for the year, right?
This is pretty much it.
That's the end of the year. That's
Well,
sad.
$5 margaritas.
Right, yeah, everyone who's of age is
Which is
welcome
not
to come
necessarily
over
a normal event, it just happens
Yeah.
to be BJ Frickers.
Again, alcohol
But I'll be
laws
there for
against
that.
weeds.
You guys are welcome to join us if you'd like.
When they
Yeah,
should be
I'll
working
there.
together.
Do you know if/when we are going to get those pamphlets ready for next semester? The incoming freshmen, the Know Your Rights, all that good stuff.
I'm gonna start working on that as soon as like finals are done.
Okay,
I need to put that.
Honestly, just shoot me a text, just let me know. I'm going to be living up here all year. I will be more than happy to help out in the best way possible.
Before you guys go, I'm going to hand out to you guys
Thank you.
a newspaper that I'm actually writing for. It's a quarterly newspaper. It's a cannabis industry newspaper.
Would you like one?
And
Oh, I've got one.
I'm the New England coordinator for the region. Sales, promotions, and that, writing and stuff like that. But in September, we're going to be doing a special edition of this paper for the NASCAR event.
Okay.
And I didn't know if Jen had told anybody here or not, but we're going to be doing a festival in October.
New Hampshire Festival?
Yeah, where the Students for Sensible Drug Policy is going to be a huge integral part of that. And, you know, we're going to be working very well together. But over the past couple of months, Jen and I have worked on a few different projects over the past 6 months. The industrial hemp bill unfortunately did not get passed. Thank you to Spencer and to Jennifer for writing that feasibility report. Jen and I met sometime in January to discuss that, and we're glad we actually got that thing pulled off. That really lent a lot of credibility to the organizations. And, you know, one thing that happens, you know, within the state is that you have a bunch of different groups a lot of the times. Sometimes we don't work well together. You know, we do have different agendas or whatever the case may be, but it's incredibly important for us as a community leadership for the state grassroots groups to actually work very well, work hand in hand with the leaders of tomorrow. And you know, as more of you guys become more and more engaged in what we're doing and taking up the torch and maybe picking up the baton where we might have dropped it once or twice before, you know, it's encouraging to actually see how you guys have progressed, and you know, especially with during the primary and talking to Rick Santorum and Newt Gingrich with that little snafu about industrial hemp and all that stuff. I mean, you guys really made New Hampshire really being bright actually out there, you know, this past year. And the things that we're going to be hopefully able to accomplish with this medical marijuana bill this upcoming Tuesday, if any of you guys are available, we're doing a protest rally. Irv Rosenfeld from Florida, who is a national recipient of the new drug program that was canceled in 1992 by first Bush, is going to be up here on Tuesday to speak at 9:30 in the morning in Concord, and is going to be speaking to a bunch of senators and other legislators. It would be incredibly beneficial for all of you guys, not just here in Dover or Durham actually, but any of your other chapters in Keene State or Franklin Pierce or anybody who has contacts with those guys. Get as much as people involved as you can. Unfortunately, as you can see, we only had a handful of people who are actually very active in this particular movement, and incredibly, sometimes very disheartening for an activist point of view to actually see sometimes a low turnout. But to be quite honest with you, it is the key members that do show up at these events that are the hardened warriors, and those who actually want to progress the movement even further than has been moved before they got to it. So I am very happy to be here. I'm very happy to have helped out with you guys. And, you know, maybe next year we can do a bigger event here at Durham. And, you know, making sure it's not on Cinco de Mayo where people are more active in drinking rather than partying. But exactly.
Yeah, we walked by that. We walked by that concert. That was pretty awesome.
You know, his Brass Cajones should actually go right in front of the police department, campus police. You know, a couple of weeks ago, that police officer from the University of New Hampshire was shot at. Personally, I don't understand why he was on the New Hampshire Drug Task Force to begin with. But unfortunately, that did occur. If we didn't have no warrants and just searching people on randomly, I mean, they should have known they should not have been there. But anyway, this frivolous drug war has got to stop, and I want to thank you all for everything you're doing here on the college level. For those of you who have siblings who are younger than you are, I strongly, and Jennifer strongly encourage everyone to talk to their siblings about this war on drugs, and that it's okay to be this way. That is, you are normal. We're all normal. We're just all trying to get by in life, and the DARE program is incredibly harsh and very hazardous to one's family's health. So, just teach as long as you are going and progressing in this movement. Teach everyone else below you, because it'll only make this movement a lot more stronger.
Yeah,
that was it.
Thank you, Greg.
Aren't your parents?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely touched me.
That's what I said at UMass.
Oh yeah, those girls, are you surprised?
The hardened warriors
Are you engaged
of
by
UNH.
this? Are you interested in your parents, or
I mean, okay, I know my parents when they were
respectable.
25, 27 and up. I don't know who they were before that. They could have been the most coolest fucking parents out there.
Yeah.
And you just don't know, because you're just too afraid to ask, Mom, Dad, what did you do when you were my age? Did you do this? Because this is what's going on in my life. This is what I want to engage in. But I want to make sure that you're okay with it, because I want you to know that I'm okay with it. And I think that a lot of parents want to be perceived as, because I'm at that age. I'm twice as old as you guys, and some of you are young enough to be my kids. But I look at it where I don't like to think of myself as old. I like to think of myself as hip, I guess you could say. But I don't want to say that that as a parent, that not being able to talk to your children about drugs or about the benefits what cannabis can do for a person is worth the redness in the face. It's worth the aggravation. It's worth the tears and all that, because what else is there?
Yeah.
Getting called at 3 o'clock in the morning to come get your child out of jail because they didn't make a mistake. The cop made the mistake. That's just horrendous. I look at it this way. I was talking to a bunch of students at a community college in Detroit, Michigan last year, and there's about 45, 50 students that I was talking to, and I said, could you imagine just taking the size of Detroit? Okay, right now it's 753,000 people. There's 850,000 arrests every year, okay, for simple possession alone. 400,000 in the city of New York City. But you take a city population of Detroit and just give it a red mark. It's no longer existence. It's no longer there. Every year, a size of Detroit, a city size of Detroit, and now it's just been obliterated off the U.S. map. That's a huge, huge war. It makes absolutely no sense of spending billions of billions, hundreds of billions, almost $1 trillion on this, with the industrial complex, of the prison complex, and the police state. It's just, it truly, truly needs to end. And, I picked up this mantle 15, 20 years ago. There are people that came before me, and there's going to be people that come after me. And, it's going to come to an end sooner rather than later. It's just unfortunate that, the big businesses out there really do not want cannabis legal, regardless of if it's for recreational use or whether or not it's for a farmer to grow an additional crop or to lower the dependency on foreign oil. It's just too big out there. I'm done.
Well, that's what you said last time too, I think.
What's that?
That you were done almost, and then you picked up again.
Oh no, I'm done.
So, always ready.
I'm done.
Just in case.
Sure? Last word?
I'm done.
Well, thank you, Greg. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
And I really enjoyed joining in with the march.
Yeah, thanks for catching up
last
with
portion of it,
us.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah,
See us
I enjoyed the guy on mic. I love drugs. All right,
Oh, yeah, that was
sure.
great.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, what do you think about? We didn't touch on it for this year, but because we kind of thought of this idea a little too late. But do you think there's a chance for the Durham campus to actually do a festival type thing? In the future. Is there
like framed under the guise of like a music festival, but it's like kind of legalization and drug war bans and things like that.
The example I would use, the concert we walked through, they've been promoting that for weeks, and they've been promoting it as the largest music fest UNH has ever had.
And that's how big it is.
And that's how big it is. So like, yeah, that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's sort of the problem we have with
It's-
Well,
it's-
UNH
Do
on
illicit
UNH
drugs, they
students,
just won't
yeah.
speak up for it.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, that
It's
just
activist
speaks on
liberal.
just general
It's
like
like-
activities that UNH students do. You know what I mean? I don't know very many of my
It's just
friends
a
that really.
lethargy.
So if we were
do,
to throw a
you know?
kegger, it would be a lot better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
mean,
how we got normal
absolutely.
started. Off the record.
Uh-oh. That was on the record, though.
We'll bleep that one out.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
shit.
it can be off the record.
Yeah, please take that one off. But yeah, we raised some money that way and bought
Well,
t-shirts.
you know, there's nothing wrong. I mean, there's
That'll be for the outtakes.
Yeah,
of
great.
course, cannabis
The private-
sales.
Yeah, the private hidden blooper reel that no one can see. You just have to have the link for it.
The purchase of alcohol has been reduced by like 9 or 10% annually. And, you know, accident rates go down to like 15%. But you know, those states that actually have a decrease in alcohol sales. I mean, you know, there's an argument or debate out there in the medical marijuana or the cannabis reform movement that, you know, that just wants to legalize marijuana and wants to stay away from alcohol, and then there are those who actually want to embrace all of it. And you know, if that's what is going to bring people out to become active, then I would probably say, well, maybe that might not be a bad idea for a 21 and over party or whatever the case may be. You know, because
Yeah, it's really tough on campus because if you have 3 members in the organization that could be of age partying together with minors there, even if it's not a club-sponsored event, if there are 3 people from one organization there, it becomes an organization event. If it gets busted, you lose your recognition because it was a sponsored event and alcohol was included in it.
It's a huge
Fascinating.
incentive against joining organizations.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
It's like just socially, like knowing people
Yeah,
that are
right.
in the same organizations. Oh, you don't want to.
We're in the same club together. I don't really want to party with you because I don't want to get us all in trouble.
It's more dangerous for fraternities, though.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
but like that doesn't mean
Yeah,
it's
that was
not
gonna be my
applied to-
thought. I was
I-
like, what about fraternities?
I'm in a fraternity
Yeah,
and
I'm
I'm
in the same
in this obviously, and it's bad for everybody. Greeks get more scrutiny, but you know it's
Everyone
Because I'm
Well,
sure the whole
it's-
setup is based on, you know, the whole concept of hazing and everything like that, which is all sort of stemmed around.
Yeah, we can't mandate study hours anymore to our guys because
All right,
That's
so
hazing.
so bigger like a party festival type thing is then definitely probably not ideal for here.
Yeah.
But definitely, if we were to maybe promote the march a little bit more,
Yeah.
you know, a couple months in advance or whatever the case may be, we'd probably get a lot more. Because this is the largest large populated campus in the state of New Hampshire,
Yeah.
followed by Dartmouth. So,
But people aren't really politically active here at all. Even like college, even though like a lot of people here are liberal, the college Democrats are actually smaller than the college Republicans. Like people just don't care regardless of what they believe. They don't go out and they're not active at all.
I have plenty of friends who voice their opinions on things, but they do not get involved.
They are very-
they would rather talk about it and not really do anything else about it.
They'd rather bitch and complain and
Yeah, right,
rather
exactly.
than actually go out
I
and
mean,
try to
I
make a
would say the
change.
mentality is I'm too busy with my classes.
do you
and
find that
everything.
being a common problem with your age group? I mean, currently right now.
I mean, I would say so.
Plus, like a lot of people like really heavily, like actually like Pete and Evan, I know actually there are 2 of my friends who I think moderate their weed intake more. Whereas there are a lot of kids on this campus who are like dangerously like not dangerously, but they're smoking weed like all the time, and they don't get out and get involved. They just do it. on
They
their
don't
own.
have time for anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
it's seen through the lens of someone who goes
I
to
would
a
say
party school.
it's a
they look at marijuana as they do alcohol as something you go
And
all
do-
out with, balls to the wall, and it
And
has
it's an event in itself.
yeah, and it's
Like, it
it's
can be
completely
used.
isolated from being a political issue. It's
Right.
just seen as getting fucked up, and
Right.
that's sort of and you know what attention we did draw today. Most of it was, and you'd see it anywhere, but you know, woo, get fucked up,
Yeah.
do
I'm pretty
drugs.
sure someone in Christensen said, "Get fucked up."
Yeah.
You would know.
A lot of our biggest supports, they kind of have their hats to the side. Like
And
that.
it's hard to foster an environment where people look at the issue as a political one, or as a public health one, or as a civil liberties one, and not as get fucked up. And that's, I think, the problem.
to actually think about it,
Yeah.
to engage them in actually thinking beyond the fact that like they like
I
smoking
mean, but
pot.
yeah,
It might
exactly.
take
I think it's hard to do that with a march, though. You know what I mean? You're just pointing out the idea that you think that the drug war is bad, unless you're going to stop every single person you see and explain to them exactly the way you're thinking about it, and not the way they might initially think about it by
That's
seeing
what
your
our
signs and
It's not gonna
table
gather
should be
success.
for.
Exactly.
Is
That's
there
what the
strong
the
Greek
tables
life
are
here?
for.
Yes.
Not everybody.
No, not really.
Not
It's
everybody.
not-
is really
I would say it's
they're
stronger
like,
than
they're
most
total,
organizations.
you know, thought process.
It's but I think we're weak for student orgs. We're weak on student orgs in terms of like
across the board.
yeah.
Well,
And I think Greek life is in a better place than a lot of other student orgs, but I think the overall.
But I can tell you, but maybe member-wise, but I'm in like a few student orgs, and a lot of them have a lot of people that just like get their name on there to put it on their resume. They don't actually do anything. Whereas Greek life, we're all like lifelong dedicated. So that'd be the difference.
I mean, I have my names on a lot of things. I get emails from them all the time, but I cannot put them on my resumes. I just have to sign up for them.
Whereas if you had to live in a house with like everyone in your
exactly right, yeah, exactly, yeah. You invest the time like a Greek life thing, yeah, exactly. That's going on the resume.
We might have to do that. That'd be a way to get.
Do you know one way to promote us? Could we like possibly have like a discussion in the mug or something where we don't actually mention marijuana, like just a discussion about all the other issues of the drug war, like like that would we be more likely to be able to have an event if we're not talking about the drug?
It's gonna be hard to never mention marijuana in a discussion about the drug war and prohibition.
No, I'm just saying like talk about the other things.
You're
that
saying
it
like
affects,
not
you
a
know what I mean?
marijuana-centered event. You're talking about let's talk about prohibition. Let's talk about
the other effects it has.
Yeah,
like
So you're not allowed to speak about cannabis?
No,
No,
he's
we
just
are.
trying to go for. I think he's just trying to take the angle of let's not advertise this as like a marijuana-centered event.
Well,
Let's advertise this.
In my experience, though, putting a pot leaf on a poster goes a long way.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of students that
I agree.
do smoke pot, and when they see a pot leaf, they're like, "Oh, pot." And
Yeah,
they're like,
it's an
"Oh, what's
attention
this
grabber.
about?" Yeah,
But,
and
you can also put prison bars and handcuffs and cops and shit like that, and just talk about the police state, talk about prisons, overcrowding.
That will attract anybody else who maybe isn't completely turned off from seeing the pot leaf, which I'm sure there's plenty. Believe me, I see that all the time.
People who are interested in different
You
things
see someone,
respond to
they
different
look at the
images on
pot
posters.
plants and they briskly walk away, like they duck down and they keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think.
Oh no, they're gonna bust me too. I'm in the area of it. Ah! Get away!
Process going on, but the fact is, like, the pot leaves don't attract those people, and there's definitely plenty of those people.
I think coordinating with other student orgs too is key.
There's definitely
because
like
like
SYL, college Republicans.
say we contact like the
There
black
used to be
student
Franklin
for
Pierce.
example, let's sit down and
shows
have a
in Concord
discussion
right now.
about how the drug war has.
Yeah, that just recently changed, I
Just
think,
more
didn't it?
outrage, yeah, exactly.
My question is, what if you did it like, did the march bi-monthly or something, or every 3 months or
What if
something
we
instead of
what if we
yearly?
sponsored it both with
Yeah,
college
it'd
be hard to
Democrats and
snow.
college Republicans?
Yep.
Like I
Well,
know I can get college.
True. I mean, you could try to like, for the winter ones, you could try to like fluctuate it so it's maybe like, well, it's gonna be on this date, but if it's snowy, if it's a lot of snow, we'll wait till it melts, so it could be like a week
All
delay.
of September is usually just
And have
pretty nice.
what?
Yeah.
Get something going. Like it's kind of nice to do something
Like
late
Cowboys
that
and
at the end of the
Indians?
year and just
No.
raise your profile on
I don't think
campus.
that's a good idea.
You guys are the cops, the rest of us are drug users.
Because that might be a good way to just like, because yearly it kind of sticks out in people's minds, I guess, when they see it, but then it's just kind of like it dies down because they don't see it again. But if you see it every couple months, that might bring more attention and it just might build the numbers.
We'll have to talk to a lot of different people here on the campuses.
Yeah.
Most people in the sphere want.
And that's the thing is there's very little
They
like
don't want to
building
talk.
between
So, like,
different groups.
I don't
We've been
think it would
trying a bit to get other groups to engage in like meetings with us, sponsored events with us, so that we can bring like two parts of a message in one kind of event. And it's really, really hard.
There's no one engaged.
Well, they always are like, yeah, that sounds great, and then like no one does anything, and it's just never follows
I heard
through.
it's really funny. Yeah, I heard it's really funny.
It seemed like kind of like a lot of reactions today. Yeah, and the drug war, and then it's just like, cool, later,
Yeah,
peace.
it's a totally just like recharging campus. Like everyone is so consumed with their life and their school, like work, and just what's going on with them that they just can't find time for other things.
When if they just opened up, they'd realize that this drug war and just everything in general is a war on them. It's the most control and force in their life.
Is the school starting in September here?
We start on August 27th.
Is there like a welcome week where like different organizations don't have the tables out where they can have that?
They took out our tables. It used to be, it used to be that everyone got a table. Now you have to be like a group like presentation to give to do anything.
Really?
So
I mean,
we'll
that's
have a
always
presentation again.
Yeah,
But
it's
we
always
haven't done it
possible
before,
to
is
do,
the
you know,
thing.
and they usually look for people to do skits or like
Legislative stagnation.
But I don't know why they took the tables out of there. It's
Yeah.
kind of dumb because it's pretty much a one-stop shop.
Well, maybe what we can do over the summer is maybe talk to the student activities coordinator and talk to her about doing something. You know, we're obviously going to be soliciting college students to come down to the festival in Manchester. So, of course, we're going to do that in Dartmouth, Keene State, here, Franklin Pierce, NIT, the community colleges, all that stuff. But you know, for you guys have to have a table for your organization is pretty weak.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have tables throughout the week, like every week throughout the school year, but like for that one festival, it used to be like in one of these big rooms, and they would have tables everywhere for every organization. Now it's all the students sit and watch presentations and like performances.
Well, maybe we can do a presentation. I mean, you know, you're talking to 2 video guys right here, right now. So I mean, there's one person every 37 seconds who's being arrested for drug possession. So I mean, one thing that I wanted to do, I wanted to do like a town hall special where I had like students come in, you know, completely, you know, quiet, wearing what their name is, what their major was, and being behind bars, you know, or wearing like a orange jumpsuit or something like that. So that way, when people see these silent people alongside them, they're wondering what the hell is going on. And they say, well, this is one person every 37 seconds is arrested for some type of drug possession. You know, whether or not it be marijuana, cocaine, Oxycontin, whatever the case may be. There's one person every 37 seconds that gets arrested. You don't know who it is. It could be Joe Schmo who you know, or it could be, you know, Tiny Tim that you don't know.
It could be your mom.
Or it could be a politician's son or whatever the case
Or it
may
could
be.
be just some black guy that you know.
They get off on special treatment because they are a politician's daughter or son. You know, that's not very fair. So, you know, maybe the skit that we could do is that, you know, drugs isn't fair. The drug war is not fair. It picks people not undiscriminately. You don't know who you're going to be. You could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be a bum. You know, it affects everybody. You know, maybe we can create, maybe if you create some type of presentation like that, that way it might get your organization a little bit more out there, at least in the beginning of the school year, where you're able to generate the momentum.
That's off. Like they're going to be.
I don't know if they're looking more for like a skit thing or like, you know, you could just throw up like PowerPoint with like videos and stuff and just have 10 minutes to talk about it.
Yeah, because like that's
Hey, hi, council members. What do you think about trying to talk to the jukebox people to see, because you know how they took away tables and now it's all like skits and
I didn't know that, but I did hear you just say that a second ago,
yeah,
so now I know.
Now it's like skits and stuff for like, you know, the notables and all of those. So what do you think about asking if we could do a presentation or something in jukebox's stall?
I'd be down for that.
Is there someone that would want to work that? You okay with that? Okay. Thanks, Evan. I'll help brainstorm.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let me know if you want to help on that.
I want both of you working really hard on presentations for dorms.
Yes.
If dude ever emails me back and says
Call
that we're
the
approved for
office.
it,
Call
I
the
don't
office.
know where it's
Look it up.
Chesney.
In my last line of work, I used to be a bookstore manager for like campuses like this. I used to work for Barnes and Noble College bookstores, and part of my job is if I could not get a textbook adoption from a professor, my job is to hunt them down wherever they were on campus. So, you know, if they were out there doing office hours and they didn't want to talk to me, I'd just, you know, camp out in front of their office or whatever, waiting. You only want to do that to the dorm person. You know.
I would try calling first.
They do have schedules where they're around and everything like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Monday would be the day.
I wouldn't use that, but it's
Which one, about the bookstore stuff?
yeah.
Oh,
Barnes and Noble, but not like that.
Yeah.
okay, fair enough.
I gotta get back to
Hunt
work.
down people.
So.
See you in a little
I've
bit.
just been trying to keep it rolling.
Oh wait, all right. Are we heading out there?
Yeah, we're gonna go down there after that.
See you later, Alana.
I'm gonna go start eating now.